If you are buying a new home in Ontario or even thinking about it, I need you to stop what you're doing right now and watch this video, because the Ontario government just announced something that could save you up to $130,000 on your new home purchase. $130,000. This is not a typo. This is not a rumor. This is real. And the window to qualify is already open as of April 1st, 2026. Hi, I'm Linda Hakr, your local realtor with JUMP Realty, serving Windsor-Essex, Chatham, Kent. I'm Leamington, Kingsville, Chatham, in the surrounding area. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what was announced, who qualifies, how much you could save at each price point, and the key dates you absolutely need to know before this window closes. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly whether this applies to you and what to do next. So before we dive in, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss local market updates, community guides, and videos just like this one covering everything about buying and selling in Windsor-Essex. Okay, let's get into it. What was announced? So here's what happened. On March 25th, 2026, Premier Doug Ford stood up and announced that Ontario is removing the full 13% HST on new home purchases for a one-year window. Now, why does that matter? Because right now, when you buy a brand new home in Ontario, you pay HST on top of the purchase price. That's 13% on a $700,000 home. That's $91,000 in tax. So on $1 million home, that's $130,000 gone, just like that. The window to qualify runs from April 1st, 2026 to March 31st, 2027. That means your purchase agreement with the builder needs to be signed within that window. The clock is already ticking. And here's what makes this especially exciting. This is not just for first-time buyers. This is for all eligible buyers. First-time buyers, move-up buyers, even investors buying a long-term rental property. If you are buying a new home in Ontario right now, you need to know about this. So let's talk about how much you can really save. All right, so here are the numbers, because I know that's what you really came here for. The rebate works based on the purchase price of your new home. Here is exactly how it breaks down. Up to $1 million, you get the full 13% HST removed. That's a savings of up to $130,000. A $700,000 home, you save $91,000. A $900,000 home, you save $117,000. This is not just a partial rebate. This is the whole thing. Between $1 million and $1.5 million, you get the full $130,000 maximum rebate. The government is keeping that ceiling in place all the way up to $1.5 million. Between $1.5 million and $1.85 million, the rebate starts to taper down proportionally. You're still getting a significant amount, but it decreases as the price goes up. So if you're above $1.85 million, you still qualify for $24,000, which was previously the maximum rebate that existed before this announcement. Now, for most buyers here in Windsor-Essex, where our market is far more affordable than in Toronto or Ottawa, most new construction falls well under that $1 million mark, which means most of you watching, this could be looking at the full rebate. So let's talk about who qualifies for this and the two separate paths that there are. Here, I'm going to break it down for you. So you can qualify if you are a first-time buyer. That's great. But also, and this is key, you can qualify if you have owned a home before. This is open to everyone buying a new home as their primary residence. And it's also open to investors purchasing as a long-term residential rental. So if you've been on the fence because you've bought before, this still applies to you. Now, there are two paths to qualify, depending on where your new home is in the construction process. Path 1 is for brand new construction that hasn't broken ground yet. Your purchase agreement must be signed between April 1st, 2026 and March 31st, 2027. Construction must begin by December 31st, 2028. and the home must be substantially completed by December 31st, 2031. Now the second path, it's for the construction that is already underway, and this is really important because there are a lot of developments actively being built right now in our region. If the builder started before March 31st, 2026, you can still qualify, as long as you sign your purchase agreement between April 1st, 2026 and March 31st, 2027, and the home is substantially completed by December 31st, 2029. So whether you're looking at a pre-construction deal or a project that's already built right now, you may qualify. This is huge. What this means for Windsor-Essex? Now let me bring this home for you, literally. For those of you in the Windsor-Essex, Chatham-Kent, Leamington, Kingsville, the surrounding area, our market is one of the most affordable in all of Ontario. New construction townhomes, semis, and our detached homes in our region are priced well below that $1 million threshold. In most cases, that means most buyers here are looking at the full rebate. Think about what that means for your buying power. If you were budgeting for a $650,000 new bill and you suddenly have $84,500 back in your pocket, that changes everything. That's your closing costs covered, that's upgrades, that's a bigger down payment, that's financial breathing room, and you did not have it yesterday. And for those of you thinking about relocating here from larger cities, this just made Windsor-Essex even more compelling than it already was. I have a full relocation guide on my channel if you want to explore that. I'll link it in at the end. So the important thing that you need to know, I want to be straight with you about a couple of things because I think it's important you have the full picture. So first, that 13% HST is made up of two parts, right? The Ontario 8% provincial portion and the federal 5% portion. Ontario has fully committed to removing its 8% piece. The federal government has agreed in principle to cover the 5%, but that still requires federal legislation to pass. Ontario's portion applies regardless. So even in worst case scenario, you are looking at 8% back, which on $700,000 home is still $56,000. Second, that applies to newly built homes only, not resale. If you're buying an existing home, HST is not a part of the picture anyways. This is exclusively for new construction. And third, I always say this, please talk to a real estate lawyer and a tax professional about your specific situation. I'm your realtor. I can help you find the right property, navigate the builder agreement, make sure you don't miss this window. But your lawyer and your accountant are the ones who will confirm your eligibility and handle the paperwork on the rebate side. So, here's the bottom line. This window opens April 1st, 2026. It closes March 31st, 2027. If you've been thinking about buying a new home in Windsor-Essex or Chatham-Kent, whether that's Leamington, Kingsville, Chatham, Tilbury, Ridgetown, anywhere in this two regions, there has genuinely never been a better time to do it. The savings are real. The window is limited and it's already open. If you want to know what's available right now, what builders are active, what projects qualify, and how to make sure your agreement is structured correctly, reach out to me directly. My number and email are in the description below. I'm happy to sit down with you, go through your options, and help you figure out whether this is the right move for you. No pressure, no obligation, just a real conversation. And if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps more people in Windsor-Essex find this information. Share it with someone that you know who is thinking about buying a new construction, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on our local market. Now, before we go, if you want to know exactly what the Windsor-Essex real estate market looks like right now, the latest prices, how many homes are selling, and what inventory looks like heading into this new buying window, I have a full market update video linked right up here on the screen. You can go and watch that one next. It pairs perfectly with everything we just covered. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.